Let's look at this vocabulary. Continental coalition, which in Chinese is called 大陆碰撞. What's the meaning of a continental collision? The meeting of two tectonic plates of a continental lithosphere at the convergent plate boundaries within the continental crust on both sides resist the subduction and instead crushes together, binding, bucking, and deforming layers of rock and forcing portions of the buckled crust upward, often creating the mountain ranges. Let's look at this picture. Here it clearly shows what the continental crush coalition. And this kind of coalition forms a lot of famous mountains in our Earth. For example, it forms a Himalayas mountain and the Tibet plateaus. Let's look at the rock cycle here. The rock cycle in Chinese is 岩石循环, and it is a very slow process in which rocks and the minerals that make them up are heated, melted, cooled, broken, and reassembled, forming igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks here. Let's look at these interesting pictures. First, if we start from the igneous rock, the weathering, erosion, transport, deposition, and the igneous rock will change into the sediments. The sediments rock then, through the lithification, will change into sedimentary rocks. And if the sedimentary rocks go through the weathering, erosion, something, will change into sediments again. Or it will be heated under the pressure and change into the metamorphic rock. And the metamorphic rock, when if it meets very high temperature, it will melting and change into magma and levels here. After the magma coolings, it will change into the cooling and crystallization. It will change into the igneous rock again. Or the igneous rock will directly change into metamorphic rock through the heating and the pressure. And the metamorphic rock will also changing through the weathering, erosion, or the transport deposition into the sediments rock. This process are very interesting. Let's look at the mineral. What is the mineral? Mineral is a naturally occurring solid element or inorganic compound with a crystal structure, a specific chemical composition, and a distinct physical properties. It sounds very complex, right? But if we compare the mineral with the ore, it will be easier to understand. All ores are minerals, but not all minerals are ores. Mineral is a native form in which metals exist, and it is of very scientific importance. So what is the ore? Ore, it is a mineral or grouping of minerals from which we extract the metals. All ores are minerals, but not all minerals are ores. Ores are mineral deposits and are used to extract the metals economically. Therefore, in ores, large amount of metals are present. So for ore, it is a very economical importance. This is how they differ from each other. What is the surface impoundment? Surface impoundment in Chinese is 地表处理. And the surface impoundment is a disposal method for hazardous waste or mineral waste in which waste in liquid or slurry form is placed into a shallow depression lines with impervious material, such as clay, and allowed to evaporate, leaving a solid residue on the bottom. And the surface impoundment is also the site of such disposal. What that means that, let's look at this picture. The liquid hazardous waste is in these pores, and when the water evaporates, now the residue of the solid hazardous waste is left here. This is how the surface impoundment process. Let's look at the three interesting different rocks. For the first one, let's look at the igneous rock. Igneous rock in Chinese is 火成岩, and it is one of the three main categories of rock. Igneous rock is directly formed from cooling magma, and granite, basalt, obsidian are the examples of igneous rock. In our Earth, very interesting, there are more than 700 kinds of igneous rock here. What is sedimentary rock? In Chinese, it is 沉积岩. Sedimentary rock is one of the three main categories of rock too. It is formed when dissolved minerals seep through sediment layers and act as a kind of glue, crystallizing and binding sediment particles together. In our Earth, 70% of rocks are sedimentary rocks in the Earth's surface. So we could see that sedimentary rocks are very important in our Earth's rock composition. Let's look at the third rock, the metamorphic rock, and in Chinese it is 变质岩. Metamorphic rock contains a lot of beautiful rocks, and it is also one of the main categories of rock. In three main categories of rock. Metamorphic rock, it is formed by great heat or the pressure that reshapes the crystal within the rock and changes appearance and physical properties later. Metamorphic rock, it is the ordinary lime. For example, the ordinary limestone change into the marble through the process of recrystallization, and this is how the ordinary rock changes into metamorphic rock. For metamorphic rock, includes marble and slate, and the marble we know that it will be made into the beautiful house or the steps, and like the palace in some places it is use a lot of marble, especially the white marble. Let's look at the mass wasting. For the mass wasting, it is the downslope movement of soil and rock due to the gravity. What that means is that, let's look at this picture. There are a lot of soil on the mountain, and there are a lot of rock here, and it is downslope movement due to the gravity. Very interesting. Some mass wasting are very slow and difficult to detect, while others are very quick, like the landslide. Let's look at the landslide. What is the landslide? It is the collapse and the downhill flow of large amounts of rock or soil, and a severe and sudden form of the mass wasting here. Let's look at this picture. A lot of factors will cause the landslide, like the heavy rain, floods, earthquake, or even the man-made activities like logging could also cause the landslide. In our Nansha district, in our school, we could see that in the Tianhou Gong, the Tianhou Palace, the landslide here, because in the mountain there are the places like the picture shows here. Yes, here are the 22 words that I want to show you today. And if you have questions, you could go on asking me after this video. Thank you for your watching. Bye.